The Golden State Killer, a crime that haunted America for decades. For more than 40 years, one name, or rather one unknown man, terrified California. He broke into homes silently. He watched his victims before they ever knew he existed. And for decades, he vanished without a trace. This is the story of the Golden State Killer, one of the most disturbing and complex criminal cases in American history. In the mid-1970s, California was growing fast. Suburbs expanded, neighborhoods felt safe, and crime, at least on the surface, seemed predictable. That illusion shattered in 1974. In the city of Visalia, residents began reporting strange nighttime burglaries. Nothing of high value was taken. Instead, drawers were moved, personal items rearranged, and sometimes odd objects were left behind. Police believed it was the work of a single offender. They called him the Visalia Ransacker. At the time, no one imagined these burglaries were just the beginning. By 1976, the crimes escalated and moved north. In Sacramento, a new predator emerged. This time, the crimes were far more violent. Victims reported the same chilling pattern: attacks late at night, a masked man entering through unlocked doors or windows, victims tied with shoelaces or cords found inside their own homes. He whispered threats. He stacked dishes on victims' backs, warning that if they moved, he would know. Police named him the East Area Rapist. Over the next several years, more than 50 sexual assaults were linked to this single offender. Despite increased patrols, task forces, and public fear, he was never caught. In 1979, the crimes changed again. This time, the offender began killing. Couples were attacked in their homes. Men were beaten or shot. Women were assaulted and murdered. Entire communities were left in shock. Now operating in Southern California, investigators gave him a new name: the original Night Stalker. For years, no one realized the Visalia Ransacker, the East Area Rapist, and the original Night Stalker were all the same person. At least 13 murders were eventually attributed to him. In the mid-1970s, California was growing fast. Suburbs expanded, neighborhoods felt safe, and crime, at least on the surface, seemed predictable. That illusion shattered in 1974. In the city of Visalia, residents began reporting strange nighttime burglaries. Nothing of high value was taken. Instead, drawers were moved, personal items rearranged, and sometimes odd objects were left behind. Police believed it was the work of a single offender. They called him the Visalia Ransacker. At the time, no one imagined these burglaries were just the beginning. Everything changed in the 2010s. Advances in DNA analysis had already transformed criminal investigations, but one idea pushed the limits even further: genetic genealogy. Instead of matching DNA to criminals already in police databases, investigators uploaded crime scene DNA to public genealogy websites, sites people used to find distant relatives. The goal was simple but revolutionary: find a family tree, then narrow it down. After years of work, detectives focused on one man. His name was Joseph James DeAngelo. DeAngelo lived a quiet life. He was a former police officer, a husband, a father, a neighbor. No one suspected him. In April 2018, police followed him discreetly. They collected DNA from discarded items. The result was a match. After more than 40 years, the Golden State Killer finally had a name. Joseph DeAngelo was arrested without incident. At first, he said nothing, but in 2020, facing overwhelming evidence, he pleaded guilty to 13 counts of murder and numerous other violent crimes. In a California courtroom, survivors and family members finally heard the truth, decades too late, but at last confirmed. D'Angelo was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The Golden State Killer case changed law enforcement forever. It proved cold cases are never truly closed. DNA can speak when criminals remain silent. Time does not erase justice. It also raised serious questions about privacy, technology, and how far investigators should go to solve crimes. Conclusion: a shadow lifted. For years, he was known only by nicknames, a ghost, a myth. Today, his victims are remembered, not just as statistics, but as people whose lives mattered. And one of America's darkest criminal chapters finally has an ending. But the scars remain. Do you believe genetic genealogy should be used in all cold cases?